Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing Ottergram on BugForge. This was a really fun lab for me. It was a GraphQL lab, and if you're not familiar with what GraphQL is an API query language, and it's a little bit different than what you may be used to with working with APIs. In RESTful APIs, which you may be used to, you send requests to different endpoints and you use different methods like put, patch, delete, so on, uh, to determine the action that's taken. With GraphQL, you're always sending to one endpoint, and the type and name of the operation that you use is what determines the action that's taken rather than which endpoint or which HTTP method you use. So let's get into the lab and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Okay, so I've already got my account set up and created here. I'm logged into Ottergram. Um, and looks like our normal Ottergram. We've got adorable otters. We can like, unlike, comment. Cute otter. Okay. Um, so what we notice that's different though is when we come down here to our profile, we still have our edit profile, but we also have these analytics. So that's a little bit different. Let me come over here to my proxy. And if you look, we've got this post request to GraphQL or to the GraphQL endpoint. And you see this is sending a query uh, request here. Um, so with GraphQL, query is typically used to get data, and then mutation is used to add, update, delete, so on. So right now we've got a query, and I'm going to show you this in Caido and in Burp. And what you'll see is that the two plugins behave a little bit differently. So I want to show it in both, uh, just so if you're on using Burp, you can follow along and still get the answer there. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm using the GraphQL Analyzer plugin for Kaido. So I'm going to select this right here, send a scanner. Okay. And what you can see is that the scanner runs. Okay. There we go. The scanner runs. And what I like about this plugin is that it opens it up in this Explorer, GraphQL Explorer, and it makes it really easy to uh, see the queries, understand um, what is accessible. So what this does is uh, this automatically sends an introspection query, and what the introspection query is doing is it's uh, basically a request that says, "Tell me all about the API schema," and it will go out and it returns all of the different um, operations and types that are available. Right. So here we see we've got two queries available to us. We've got the analytics and the user. So what we saw in the original request was the analytics. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at this. And so I'm going to copy that. Come over here to my history, and I'm going to send the GraphQL request to my replay. And this is where it gets a little bit cumbersome here. I'm going to highlight everything after the colon here. So all this in quotes. I'm going to highlight that. delete it, and I'm going to paste in what I just copied from the GraphQL Analyzer plugin. And then I'm going to select all of what I just pasted in. And right click, convert, replace, and come down and find JSON escape. Okay, so that just escapes all the new lines and makes it so that the server will process it. So if I send that, you'll see I get an error, and it says variable ID of required type int was not provided. So this is telling me that this is looking for an ID variable. So I need to add that. So I need to add a comma. Oops. Variables, colon, add curly braces after that, ID, and we'll try 1 and see what we get back. Okay, and you see now we start getting user data back, right? And it includes password hashes. So if we increment up to 2, and we get the admin user and we get the admin password, which is the flag. So although I really like Caido for the most part, um, that process is a little bit more cumbersome than it is in Burp. So let me get over into my Burp Suite proxy, and then we'll walk through this there, and I'll show you how easy it is with the NQL plugin in Burp Suite. So give me just 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, so I've got my Burp Suite proxy up and running. I've gone back through and I've browsed the application, and I've got my post request to the GraphQL endpoint up here. So what I want to show you is I'm using the NQL uh, extension, and it's this one right here, NQL GraphQL scanner. That's what I'm using for this. Okay, so for this, you can see this has this little tab right here in your request pane that shows what the request is. So what I want to do is I'm going to send this over to repeater. I'm going to right click anywhere on the request, and up at the top here, I've got this GraphQL option, and I'm going to say set introspection query. Okay, so this is the full introspection query. That's what I was talking about. Hey, tell me all about yourself. All right. Send that, and I see I get a bunch of data back. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's gonna help. All right, got a helper. Cool. So if I come over to my response pane and I right click anywhere and go back up to this GraphQL option, I have an option now to save GraphQL queries to sitemap. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, if I come over here to my target, you see my target lights up orange. And if I come in here to GraphQL, and you see I've got these options here, all these, it'll load all the um, different types and operations that it supports in my site tree here. So if I highlight this one, this is my user request, and I send that to repeater. You see that the variables is already loaded, so I don't need to go through the process of uh, sending the original request, getting an error, figuring out what the error means, knowing that I have to add the variables, um, manually. So if I send this, well, there's no user with user ID 0. I'm back 1, Otter Lover, 2 is admin, and we get the flag. So typically, I really like Caido a lot more than I like Burp, but for this, the NQL plugin for Burp makes this a lot easier. Um, so I wanted to show both because there are significant differences. I know a lot of people are on Burp uh, and like using Burp, so I wanted to demonstrate both ways. Um, but that's it for that lab. I hope you enjoyed it. Apologize for the little bit of jank there with my helper. He's down here supervising, make sure I get things right. But I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.